welcome to episode number 11 of the podcast. Today I'm here with Marili Vihman, who is organizing the biggest startup event in the Baltics. And yeah, we will just talk about how she got into that position and how it is to organize an event like that and what you learned from getting in contact with all of those, with that whole scene. And welcome to the podcast. I'm really happy we could make it work. Tell me about yourself,
who am I, right?
Who is Marili?
My name is Marili. I am the head organizer of Startup Day, which is become the biggest business festival in the Baltics. So we bring together around 4,000 startup-minded people, and we organize it here in Tartu because we love the city, we love to live here, and we don't see any reason why we should do in capitals like usually they do. But we just love the city, and we thought that let's do something big here in Tartu and let's put Tartu on the map. So and also it's a big problem when students graduate the university, then they go away from Tartu because there's a lot more opportunities to work. So our goal is to make the students stay here in Tartu and to grow that entrepreneurial environment and support startups because they create a lot of new jobs and that's why we do it basically.
But you said it's the biggest business, so it's not even focused on startups, but also apart from that it's the biggest business festival overall in the Baltics.
Yeah, well, startups is our big focus group, but we also are aiming to bring together startups and of course investors and then executives and also all startup minded people who are into entrepreneurship, want to do something great in their life and are really active in their lives. So it's bigger than just being a startup event.
And what can you tell me about Startup Day on its own? How did it evolve over the last years?
We started Startup Day in 2016. And now it will be the fourth time that we organize it. When at the beginning all the people thought that it's going to be just another student event, then during the first year we surprised all the people because we had more than almost 3,000 people participating, and amazing. I don't know, it got bigger and bigger, and our team has grown immensely, and most of them are volunteers. But I don't know. I think the people who organizing it, they just want to do some big and great things, and that's how it's just gone so big. Yeah. And
what's your secret? How do you grow an event in 3-4 years so big?
Yeah, it's a good question. What's the secret? I think just we have maybe found something that is it's like if you come to Startup Day, you feel that special feeling that you don't feel in other, for example, in Estonian events. So we managed to create this really right startup and entrepreneurial vibe, and it's like a family gathering, and it's like a really special feeling that we are creating. And I don't know, that kind of works for us, and that's why people are coming back to our event. And every year we try to surprise our guests with production, with some cultural programs. So we don't take it like a normal conference as you sit and you only hear, but we really want to engage people and make something like crazy parties or crazy cultural program or something else. So it's really we can test everything because we don't have any limits, and we are quite young who are organizing it, so we just like to test and see what works and what not, and it's just I don't know, great opportunity to do those things.
And from the what are some interesting stories, startups or people that participated in the Startup Day in the last, or also in this year?
Yeah, well, one of the success stories we have is is one startup called Factory. They are here based in Tartu, and they started during the first startup day in 2016. And Factory is a sheet metal fabrication services online. So they are working in manufacturing world. But now, since 2016, they have like grown so big. They have got many investments. They have team up to 15 people. They are here, and they started a startup day, and every year they visit that event. So it's like a really good example how startup day inspires and puts like a beginning to a startup. So this is one of the great examples. And maybe some interesting speakers who are coming, for example, this year or 2020, because it will be happening in the end of January, is Laura Tekker, who is the youngest world around sailor. So she started when she was 14, she ended when she was 16. She brought her dog with her. And actually a really great documentary has been made, and it has been shown in Netflix. So I'm really excited about that she's coming. Yeah.
How do you get people like this on board to come to the startup day?
It's a really good question. It's really hard because at startup day we always start with an A-class speaker. So we were thinking like, how can we bring Elon Musk here, or what can we do to bring
That's so cool.
Ashton Kutcher or someone else. So we always begin with that. And then just see where does it lead. But we just say that, hey, you've never been to Tartu. It's just amazing place. It's cold. And you've never been here, and just come and see what are we doing. It's a really great place and really great people. So we just I don't know, somehow we managed to convince them that Tartu is a magical place. And if you haven't seen that, then in the word startup, Tartu it fits perfectly in. So
so that's a sign.
Because we say that it's like a higher blessing, so you have to come here. It's like a startup mecca and so on. So that is one of the reasons you should come.
And is Laura Dekker, is she also involved in a startup right now?
Not in a startup, actually. I think she's building a new ship to make another trip somewhere. But we at startup day we also gather a lot of speakers who are inspirational and who have their own story, or they have made their dream come true. So that is the way how we can inspire our visitors a lot.
And do you have any advice when you contact like Elon Musk? He's getting a lot of messages probably. So how do you make sure you stand out to those people? How do you make sure they actually read your mail in the first place?
Well, you never can be sure. You just try your best and just hope that maybe it works. But we have, luckily we have our mayor who is our big supporter, and so we try different contacts, which is more like maybe powerful contacts and so on. But I don't know, it's like always a catch, like how do you convince them, or how do you even make them read your letters? So I think it's a lot like a lucky business. But we just try to write very from our heart and try to say why are we doing this and why should you come, and just hope it works. So
then
there's not a big secret now, unfortunately.
It's too bad.
It's too bad. I know.
And I will put a picture of you in so that people know that you're relatively young for being the head organizer of the biggest business event of the Baltics. So how do you get into a position like that? How old are you right now?
Well, I started as a volunteer back in 2016, and if you just do a great job, then people start to notice you, and they start to invite you to the jobs, because if you stand out, if you're good at what are you doing, then it just evolves like naturally. So I was really lucky because 9 organizations are organizing Startup Day together. So it's like a whole Tartu ecosystem. And when you can stand out, I started as the head of volunteers and in a program team. So I stand out, and then one of the organizations invite me to work with them. And then I got the chance also to work with Startup Day, because that company was contributing their time and energy also into that event. And so I managed to, as the previous head organizers are my great friends, I managed to see the head organizer really closely. I knew all the pains, I knew what they were going through, I helped as much as I could. And then in the end it was just me who knew what to do next. And so you really have to, if you really believe in something, and I put like all of my free time into that, so I really believed in that event, and I really wanted to make it like as great as possible, and that's how I ended up as head organizer.
So it's a lot of passion and hard work, patience, and also I guess to a certain degree just working with the right people.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's really important to have the right people and the right team to do it with. And I think it's like the biggest collaboration we have seen actually in Estonia, because when you usually talk about collaboration, it's quite superficial. There is like, we collaborate, but I see the person like twice a year. But with those people who we are organizing together, we really think through every step, and we meet every Friday and we discuss what to do. So it's like it's really hard to work with so many people, but I think it's the coolest thing you can do.
Yeah, that's true. And what was interesting you so much about Startup Day? Why are you so passionate about it?
It's really interesting, because when I got in, the first head organizer invited me to Startup Day, but actually I didn't know a thing about startups, startup ecosystem. So, and then it was the time when I started to learn about it. So during those 4 years, I have learned a lot about about this ecosystem. But I think the most attractive for me are the people who are the hardest working people I have known, especially when it comes to startups and founders and all the people who are there. It's just, you see, like in this hub also, you watch around, you come here, for example, Saturday, and you see people working. So this is like the hardest working people. So, and it's like, if you believe something and you want to do things better, you see like you can contribute to our society and our stuff. So it's like, you see you can do it better, and you take the fate to your own hands and start to do it. So I think it's really amazing.
And from all those people you see, and just your general experience in the scene, is there anything that you would want to say to people that are actually owning a startup or that are working in a startup? What do you see, what people are doing really good but also really bad, especially young people as well?
Well, actually, I can talk from my own experience, because we take also like Startup Day is our startup, because we're doing something new. We are running like a startup. We are making crazy hours. So I think like the 2 key points for me is first, I can't really like handle the critics, or it's really hard to learn how can you handle critics, because most of the times the critics is not for me, but for our event, the Startup Day is that I take it really personally. So I think the first lesson should be like how to separate the critic from yourself and from the product or the company you're doing. So, and this is really hard, and I can't do it, but maybe I will learn someday. And another thing is, I think when you are young, you don't think about it, but it's really important to have a healthy mind. So you work crazy hours, you put everything in, but at the same time you are like dying, because you are like you have the stress, you have the attentions and so on. But how to handle it psychologically is really, really like hard. But to still be alive after the event or after the product or services you are offering is really, really important. So I think these are the 2 things I would emphasize.
And any specific are there any specific methods that help you to keep that balance?
No, I haven't had that yet.
Okay.
I just know that I should like think
you know
about
it's
it.
important.
Yeah,
but
I know it's important, but I don't know yet how to do it because
okay.
if you're young, like I'm 25 right now, when I'm just burning myself because I put everything in, and I don't have time to think about how my mental health will, deal with it. I just try to do my best, but I should learn it really. But I think it comes a little bit later, but it's like a thing you should maybe think about earlier also.
Yeah. What do you think about that kind of that conflict in general? Because I have my podcast, I listen to a lot of other like influencers in that space as well. And there's basically there are two movements. So the one kind of people are saying, you basically need to work your ass off. If you want to be successful or want to do anything serious, you can't have a social life. And then the other people are saying, you should work hard, but you should also, when you're in your 20s, you should also go traveling, enjoy your life, don't make 50-hour work weeks. And how do you see those two streams?
Yeah, it's really difficult to find the balance because actually I'm feeling the same thing, that I have worked like crazy for 3 years, and actually now I have a plan that after start of day I will take the time off and I will go to travel because you are still young, I am still young, I don't have any kids, I don't have any loan, so I can basically just go anywhere and just do my things, because if I don't do it, if I put all of my 20s into work, then I will be regretting it afterwards, because my dad says that you can always work. There's like, the work doesn't end, it just comes and comes. So you just have to make really clear decisions for yourself, how much and when you want to stop it and when you want to do it. So but it's really hard, and
because on the one hand you can also say, okay, if I work a lot now, I might not need to work at all when I'm 35. It's
exactly.
There's no perfect way, I think. I think you just have to. I think it's just important that you make your own choices with that you, if you make a choice to work or to not work, that you're at least standing behind that 100%.
Yeah, I agree, because actually there are a lot of people also who can't live without working, so you're thinking that maybe at 30s, I will not work, but it's like, it isn't happening maybe because you can't, you always have to do something, but
I was also a bit scared when I realized that, because I was on my trip, and there was a lot of not working related stuff going on. And then at a certain point I felt a bit restless, and then I thought, okay, I just need to do some research now. So I was on my laptop for like 2 hours in the evening, and then I felt so good.
Exactly.
And I'm not sure if it's if it's supposed to be like that, but
I don't know.
I think once you're getting into that whole scene, you're getting sucked into that mentality automatically, and I mean, good things come from good work.
So. I agree with that.
So as a closing question, actually, is there, why should I come to the startup day?
Question of the year. Well, I think if you are interested in entrepreneurship and you really want to be part of something big that's never done in Tartu, and it's like a festival, it's not a business conference. We have a big demo area, we have matchmaking where you can meet interesting people, we have 4 stages, we have seminars. So if you come, you have just so many opportunities, what to learn, who to listen, and so on. So you're never getting bored. And of course the biggest and greatest parties we are making happen. So it's just like, if you want to learn new things and want to be inspired to do your own thing, then you should definitely come. And actually the last chance is to get a really cheap student ticket, which is 29 euros, and they're going to change quite quickly. But it's the last chance to really 29 euros for 3 days parties and stuff.
Great,
it's really
actually.
cheap. Yeah. So we really try to help also students. So we
Yeah.
know they don't have any money because I've been student also. So so we really try to support
that's awesome,
them.
Yeah. That's actually. I mean, I haven't been to the startup day yet, but I can from the price I can see it's different.
Yeah.
Because the conferences I looked at before, then it was
It's
like
so expensive.
100 euros, absolutely minimum.
Well, we have that kind of price for investors, executives, and other visitors, but
they have the money.
But Tartu is a student city, so we have to support our students and help them to make their dreams come true. So that is like also like our social responsibility to help them also to come to our event.
And as an investor, why should I come?
Well, we bring together as many startups as we can find. Last year we had around 350 startups.
Wow.
So, and actually for investors, we have a separate investor day happening in Delta, the new building that is rising. And we have investor days. We have a lot of matchmaking with startups. You can invest in startups. So we really try to bring together startups, and we are organizing also the biggest pitching competition called Startup Pitching. So, and in the end, one startup will get up to 250,000 euros investment, 10,000 euros equity with cash from Swedbank, and also a lot of other prizes. So there's a lot to see and a lot to hear.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So a big thanks to Marili for joining the podcast, and a big thanks to you for listening to the episode. I really enjoyed the episode. I think we got some really cool insights about the startup scene here in Estonia, but also how it is to bootstrap an event like this in 4 years and let it grow into the biggest business event in the whole Baltics. And if you want to find out more about the Startup Day, I really urge you to visit their website, which I'm linking below the episode. And yes, I hope you enjoyed it and have a nice day.